Ladies and gentlemen, with every NBA season that comes and goes, I think it's safe to say that most of you watching this video, whether you write them down for physical proof or you just keep them in the back of your mind, we all make our fair share of NBA predictions at the beginning of each season. And I know that there are going to be some people watching this video that say they predicted exactly what we're going to be discussing. But you guys, everything that we have watched of the Miami Heat this season, from the beginning of the year all the way up until this very point, is honestly, at least in my personal opinion, one of the craziest things we've seen in this league in quite some time. And I think that we need to discuss how rare what they're doing actually is just a little bit further. One sec though guys, if you haven't yet, don't forget to like the video if you do enjoy, subscribe, and turn on those notifications to never miss another NBA video. Love you guys. And for anyone that hasn't yet, believe me, now is the perfect time, because according to my numbers, over 95% of you guys coming back to watch the content haven't even subscribed yet. So for any of you that do, believe me, I appreciate you and thank you. But nonetheless, you guys, to get back into this Miami Heat squad, personally, I don't care what anyone says, I don't care what anyone might throw at me, but the Miami Heat should not be nearly as good as they actually are, which kind of goes hand in hand as to why they were one of the most disrespected teams this entire season. And yes, I know the case can also be made for why they should be this good when you have 3 all-stars or borderline all-stars in Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry, and Bam Adebayo. But when you're talking about a team like this, who, may I remind you, 3 of their top 9 rotational players in the playoffs are undrafted free agents, who we should also mention have been playing like proven veteran type role players this entire time. And of course, for the most part, yes, I am speaking about Gabe, Vincent, and Max Strus, who have actually been thrown into the Heat starting rotation. I mean, I'll just be the first person to tell you if you weren't quite sure, but what we're seeing here, it doesn't happen very often. In fact, off the top of my head, I really can't remember another time that a team has consistently done what the Miami Heat have over the last couple of years, which has simply been turning other teams' trash across the league into nothing short of their very own treasure. And I mean, it's not even just restricted to these players like Strus and Vincent, but it can also be extended into players like Victor Oladipo, who has been searching for a role with a team for the last couple of years. And as I'm sure you've already seen, he is fitting in like a glove into this Spoelstra rotation, which of course we have to give this man the flowers he deserves with being one of the best coaches in the NBA and flipping the pieces that he was given into one of the most unstoppable teams in the NBA, again, that almost nobody had been talking about. And if you guys want even more of a reason to give Spoelstra the credit for his player development, just take a second to consider that the Heat have another undrafted free agent who, may I remind you, earned a $90 million contract last season that is currently riding the bench in the playoffs. So if there's still anyone that thinks what we're seeing out of Miami isn't absolutely ridiculous, there's honestly a pretty good chance that we never see this again, at least to the degree of success that Miami is doing right now. But also, this is definitely not the only rarity that we have seen out of the Heat this season, because you guys, for anyone who had been doubting Jimmy Butler's abilities before this season, and I know there were definitely some reasons as to why some people would, Jimmy Butler hasn't just been on the best playoff run of his career, but honestly, we might be witnessing one of the best individual playoff runs that we have seen in the league in quite some time, and there are multiple reasons for why you could say this, so let's explain why. Because I mean, aside from the ridiculous averages he's putting up of just under 30 points, 8 rebounds, 5.5 assists, and a playoff leading 2.3 steals per game, which I'm just gonna guess right now off the top of my head are the best all-around numbers of any player remaining in the 2022 playoffs. When you sit back and compare what he is doing right now compared to what he was doing throughout the course of the regular season, I mean, I don't even think I have to say anything, because words cannot do it justice the different level that this man has been on. And yes, even though he is getting some more touches throughout the postseason, he is still doing it at an insanely efficient level. And I'm sure that most of you are probably wondering where this could possibly be coming from. And well, aside from the fact that Jimmy Butler has a grudge on every single person on this earth that thinks he is not capable of what he's doing right now, do any of you guys remember this man? Well, yeah, believe it or not, in case case you forgot, he is still on this team. Because I don't know about you guys, but from time to time watching the Heat throughout this postseason, I genuinely forgot that Kyle Lowry was on this team. But regardless of that, the addition of Kyle Lowry this season could kind of tie into why some of Jimmy Butler's regular season averages were below what they typically are, especially in the sense of playing off ball. As you can see, his assist percentage and total assists last season compared to this one, the drop-off was definitely noticeable, but nonetheless, with having to adjust for another all-star caliber player to fit into your rotation, long story short, the Miami Heat found quick success with this, and with the absence of Kyle Lowry throughout almost the entire postseason thus far, it ultimately left a lot of people wondering if Jimmy Butler was going to be able to step into the role that he is currently being asked of. And if you guys are wondering if he's filling this role, I think the numbers we showed previously can speak to that themselves. But honestly, never in my life did I expect that we would see a team lose what could be considered their second best player in the postseason, and still somehow look like the complete powerhouse they have been all season, and even quite possibly better with what Jimmy's been doing. I mean, with Kyle Lowry's absence and Jimmy Butler averaging at least 28 points, 5 assists, 2 steals, and 50% from the field, we quite literally have the first player doing this in a single postseason run since none other than the man himself, Michael Jordan. And it's not even just the ridiculous numbers that should be catching the eye of the entire world when watching this team, but it's also the fact that they have been slowly and very surely proving everyone wrong this entire season. Because whether you're talking about them consistently being called bubble frauds, maybe the capabilities of Jimmy Butler, or even the entire rotation around him, wherever you want to give them the most credit for this, they have turned into one of the best all-around two-way teams that we have seen in the last couple of years. And from the situation they were in, and on top of that from an outsider's view, it really is a shock to the majority of the NBA world. But of course, the job isn't finished. We still need to wait and see who will be crowned the NBA champions at the end of the year. And as it is my favorite part of every single video, I now want to hear what you guys have to think about their situation. So please let me know in the comments, do you guys think the Heat will be able to win it all, even if Kyle Lowry is absent for the rest of the year? And also, what has surprised you most about the Miami Heat so far through this season and the playoff run that we have been witnessing? But again, you guys, if you haven't yet, don't forget to go down below and leave a like on the video if you did enjoy, and of course, subscribe while you're down there. I mean, we got brand new videos every single week, you guys, with the season finishing up and free agency and the off season right around the corner. It's gonna be a packed summer here on the channel, you guys. I will just leave it at that. But also, I just wanted to say thank you so much to each and every one of you for watching. I appreciate all of you guys more than anything. You all know this, and I will see you guys in the next video.